Good afternoon. I'm Father Bob Fambrini. I'm Jesuit pastor of St. Francis Xavier Parish in Central Phoenix. And it's my pleasure to be here this evening. I'm really honored that Dan would ask me to preach. I welcome him and his family, his mother especially. It's a real pleasure to be with you. There's always a risk, when you're preaching about someone, that you might either make it sound like a eulogy or a roast. I promise you it won't be either of those. But in reflecting on that second reading, that beautiful second reading about Abraham going at an old age to a place that he did not know, helped me kind of focus what I wanted to say this afternoon in terms of the journey that Dan is about ready to begin. Now, Dan is somewhat familiar with the Jesuits because he's been to Culver City, where he'll be for the novitiate. He's been to other Jesuit events. He's been to other Jesuit ministries, so he kind of has a sense of what it's going to be like. But really and truly, Dan, you have no idea what it's going to be like. I mean, you really don't. I think it's important just for me to spend some time making a distinction for you, because I find that many Catholics don't know the distinction between religious order priests and diocesan priests. They'll often ask that question. We are blessed in the Church to have numerous, uncountable numbers of religious orders in the world, both for men and for women. If you would imagine a mosaic, all those colorful pieces of tile put together. Individually, they don't look like a whole lot, but you stand back and it gives you the bigger picture. And that's what the religious orders do in the Catholic Church. They give a perspective of the mission of the Catholic Church, because they're not limited to one diocese, but they serve in larger areas. Each religious order was founded at a particular time by a particular person to serve a particular need in the Church. Religious orders come and go. Religious orders die off. The group of sisters that taught me in San Francisco, they are dying off. Nobody is entering their religious order anymore. But this is a natural form of life. Dan is entering the Society of Jesus, also called the Jesuits. We were founded in Spain in the 1500s. We are basically a missionary group, but we were founded at the time when the Church was going through much turmoil, much corruption. I mean, if you think we have problems now, all you have to do is go back and read what was going on then. And so the Society of Jesus was founded by Ignatius, and with 7 companions, he took on a model that was totally different from religious orders at the time, which were basically monastic orders. They lived together. They lived outside of the city. They never left the place. And he said, no, you 7 guys are going to go around the world. We're going to send you off. And that's how the Society of Jesus began. One of the distinctions between religious orders and diocesan clergy is the formation. In religious orders, the formation has at the beginning, by canon law, by the law of the Church, at least 1 year of what is called novitiate. And the novitiate is so that those who enter may come to understand what that religious order is all about, what it means to live according to the charism or the spirit of the founder. So Dan will be going and spending, Jesuits are always a little different with things. We don't have 1 year, we have 2 years novitiate, during which time he will, in Culver City, California, he'll be doing what we call many experiments, kind of testing that are required. He'll work in a hospital. He'll participate around the house in just doing the household chores. But most importantly, he will spend 30 days making the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius. That is the cornerstone of our spirituality as Jesuits. Every Jesuit has made the spiritual exercises at least once, but eventually twice. And it's what unites us. The spirit of St. Ignatius unites us in the spiritual exercises. Religious orders, we live in community. We take vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. Dan will take his vows 2 years from now. Technically, we don't own anything. Nothing is in our name. I work in a parish. I get a salary. I never see it. I don't even know how much it is. It goes right to the community. And they take care of me. They take care of me. Obedience, we are obedient to our superiors. Just as diocesan priests are obedient to their bishop, we are responsible to our provincial to send us anywhere where we are needed. But the most important aspect, I think, is the mission that we have and the fact that we live together. That we live together in community, pray together, eat together, recreate together. When Dan enters the novitiate 1 week from tomorrow, he becomes a member of the family from day one. Should it unfortunately happen that Dan were to die before he takes his first vows, he would still be buried as a Jesuit. You are a Jesuit from day one. The focus in the novitiate is not, is God calling you to be a priest? The focus in the novitiate is God calling you to be a Jesuit? To live this life. In your pastor, you have a good example of someone who entered the novitiate, heard God telling him, no, you're not called to be a Jesuit, but you're called to be a priest. When I was novice director for 10 years, I had several who left, but still wanted to be a priest and are priests today, not Jesuits. And that's fine. That's the way God's Spirit works. Individuals are attracted to religious life because of the charism of the founder. I went to a Jesuit high school. That's why I ended up being a Jesuit. Dan's story is much more interesting than mine. You got to ask him about why he's becoming a Jesuit. Spirit works in wonderful ways. Our formation is long. It's long. I entered at the age of 17 and was ordained 12 years later at the age of 29. Felt like I should stick out my arm and get a watch and retire. That's when they put me to work. So it's with great joy that we come today in this community which has supported Dan, just as he has supported you by his presence, by his work, by his being a member of this community. I think it's wonderful when Jesuits, men, enter the Society of Jesus coming from a parish of faith, because this is where Christ is found every day in the lives of the people of God. He is sent forth by your prayers with great confidence and great hope, and knowing that you're behind him, and he will pray for you just as we will pray for him. It will be important that he lets you know when he enters the 30-day retreat, so that you could especially pray for him during this great time of discernment, being open to the ways in which God will lead him. So Dan, in the spirit of Abraham, the one who left a place, going, not really knowing where he was going, but putting his total faith and trust in God, you leave here in that same spirit. May God bless you, keep you close to him, and may you come back when you have home visits and let this community know how you're doing and to thank them for their prayers and support. God bless you.